Hello and welcome to Verdict 2015. Now, the first phase of polling in Bihar on Monday saw a historic turnout. We'll be discussing all the implications, also all news and updates from the poll-bound state in the next half an hour. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor and here are this morning's election headlines. 57% voting in phase 1 of Bihar polls. All major parties predict a comfortable win. No untoward incident reported during voting in phase 1. Elderly and women vote in large numbers. Prime Minister holds rally in Jehanabad after Election Commission's approval. Opposition had lodged a complaint against rally that coincided with the first phase of polling. And today we focus on Sher Ghati in Gaya district, a place of historical importance that is desperately in need of development. Well, after a high-pitched, bitter campaigning, the first of the 5 phases of elections to Bihar's 243-seat assembly concluded on Monday. Well, over a span of 2 months, rival camps led by PM Modi and Nitish and Lalu Prasad, on the other hand, traded barbs and counter-barbs. But here is what happened during the first phase of polling, which saw a 57% voter turnout.
The first phase of the high-voltage Bihar Assembly elections have come to an end. People queued up outside polling booths from 7 in the morning to cast their votes.
ये तो देश के प्रति मेरा कर्तव्य है, मुझको पहले आकर और वोट कास्ट करना चाहिए।
नौजवानों को रोजगार हो, यही सब है और क्या प्रोग्रेस मतलब होना चाहिए।
मुद्दा तो यही है कि मान ले बिहार में शांति हो, ये गुंडागर्दी खत्म हो, सड़क, बिजली, पानी सभी को सुविधा मिले।
क्या विकास हुआ है पिछले बार, उसको देख करके ही वोट देंगे इस बार।
Around 57% voting was recorded in the 49 constituencies from across 10 districts. This is higher than the previous turnout in these seats in the last assembly polls.
During this phase, the turnout for this phase has been very encouraging. While in the previous election, it was about 50.85%. This time on and up till now, the information received is that it is 57%. Maybe that it will step up further by 1 or 2%.
In terms of geographical size, 1/5 of the state cast their vote in phase 1. 49 seats were contested across 10 districts, which include Samastipur, Begusarai, Khagadia, Bhagalpur, Banka, Munger, Lakhisarai, Shekhpura, Nawada and Jamui. In a first, security on voting day was not taken care of by the Bihar police but by paramilitary forces. Additional Chief Electoral Officer R. Lakshmanan said there were no reports of any untoward incident.
2 बूथ है, दोनों बूथों पर एक पे CISF है, एक पे CRPF है। पुख्ता इंतजाम है।
मतदान मोर और लेस पीसफुल रहा है, सिवाय 1-2 इंस्टेंसेस को 2 जगह क्लैशेस के रिपोर्ट मिले हैं, किंतु वो पोलिंग बूथ से काफी दूर हुए हैं और स्थिति नियंत्रण में है।
A total number of 1.35 crore electors were eligible to cast their votes for 49 assembly seats, for which 583 candidates, including 54 women, contested.
डाल लिया वोट, मताधिकार का प्रयोग किया, मुझे खुशी है और मैं चाहता हूं कि देश में अब एक कानून हो और मतदाताओं के जागरूकता का विशेष अभियान चल ही रहा है और चले।
जनता सेक्युलरिज्म के झंडे के नीचे खड़ी होगी, वहाँ पे महागठबंधन को जिताएगी, उसी की सरकार बनाएगी।
Voting came to an end at 3 p.m. in 9 constituencies. Polling in 4 constituencies ended at 4 p.m. and polling for the remaining 36 constituencies ended at 5 p.m. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
All right, Mr. Nalin Verma, who is the assistant editor with The Telegraph, is now joining us. Good morning, Mr. Verma, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. Mr. Verma, now record 57% turnout in the first phase. What do you think could be the reasons and also possible implications?
Hello.
Mr. Verma, can you hear me?
Hello.
Mr. Verma.
Repeat the question.
Yeah, Mr. Verma, I was asking you, now there was a record 57% turnout in the first phase of polling. What do you think are the reasons and also the possible implications?
See, the significant point of this polling is women have outnumbered
Yes.
The men by 6%. It means, as we have travelled in the constituency, we found out that women prefer Nitish Kumar more than others. In that case, the heavy turnout indicates the more number of women turning on the polling stations, particularly in the rural area. To me, it indicates a better position for the Nitish Kumar-led Grand Alliance. If at all something, this high percentage of voting with women outnumbering men, it clearly means to me that the Grand Alliance is the preference of women particularly.
Mr. Verma, now, do you think as far as campaigning is concerned, probably all the parties, including the Grand Alliance and the NDA camp, were probably not as much aggressive towards the women voters as probably they were thinking about the voters in terms of caste?
No, by and large, the campaigners are not aggressive against the women voter. Why should be they aggressive? But Nitish Kumar has introduced many measures for the women, and they are trying to pay him back, because see, the reservation of for women in the panchayat elections, reservation of women in the government jobs, and again he has promised that he will ensure 35% of reservation to women in the government services when he comes to power. Now these women are seeing Nitish Kumar in two ways. First, he is empowering them through by ensuring their better participation in the local bodies. And at the same time, they are also looking at him that he can be a source, or he can fuel, he can fulfill their aspirations by getting them in the job. So I believe that women cutting across caste lines, they prefer Nitish Kumar more than others.
What about the youth? Because this election also saw a number of young people crowding, of course, and putting their votes. It has been said that during the 2014 Lok Sabha elections, the BJP really benefited from young voters, the first-time voters. Do you think here also this trend will continue?
See, these young voters are not a homogeneous lot. The young voters, the urban young voters and the rural young voters. Initially, when the NDA started its campaign in 2014, and the Prime Minister, then he was the candidate for the Prime Minister, he announced repeatedly that he will leave the aspiration of the young people, he will come out with jobs for them. Now, what has happened, it somehow attracted the young voters more, but somehow they find that 14, 15 years down the line, the jobs that were promised is not happening. First point. Second point is, the young voters are divided in urban and rural areas. The cosmopolitan areas, young voters may be tilted towards the Prime Minister and his NDA, because his talk about digital India, which they can connect to. But the young voters in the rural areas who are preparing for the TTE examinations, ASM examinations, and the government jobs, central government jobs in grade 3 and grade 4, they somehow are a disenchanted lot. They feel that the vacancies have been cut, and nothing tangible is happening in the context of the government jobs. And no vacancies in the railways and central services have come out in the last 14, 15 months of the NDA rule. That way you can divide the youth voters into two segments. First, the urban cosmopolitan voters who are in IITs, who are in good engineering institutions, who are not dependent on the government for their jobs. They might be preferring for the NDA, but the rural voters, by and large, the young voters in the rural India, that is also called Bharat in the journalistic parlance.
Right.
They I think prefer for Nitish Kumar, who has come out with some policies like giving unemployment allowance of rupees 1,000 to the students who have between the age group of 20-25. He will give more reservation in the jobs. These type of promises, I think, attract the young voters, particularly in the rural areas, more than what was the phenomenon in 2014.
All right. So women and young people women and young people have come out in large numbers. They have cast their votes in the first phase of elections. We'll have to wait and watch as to what impact really it will have on the respective camps. So, Mr. Verma, you stay with us. We'll just come back to you. And various political parties have expressed confidence that they will win the elections. Let's listen in to RJD's Lalu Yadav, who's predicting a clean sweep for the Grand Alliance.
टोटल जितना भी वोट होगा मिनिमम 180 सीट हम लोग जीतेंगे. नोट कर लेना तो. हाँ.
And Lok Janshakti Party President Ramvilas Paswan is also confident of his win in the ongoing elections. He said that NDA is going to win 90% of seats in the first phase.
180 सीट पर 90% सीट पर हम लोग जीत रहे हैं फर्स्ट फेज में. वो हवाबाजी उनका सब निकल जाएगा. जन समुद्र उमड़ा हुआ है क्या कहते हैं कि एनडीए के पक्ष में. पता चल जाएगा उनको.
Now, the BJP that is leading the NDA fight says it is confident of a clear majority.
बहुत भारी संख्या में हम सीटें जीत रहे हैं. हमारे लोग अच्छी स्थिति में हैं.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed two rallies in Bihar yesterday, one in Jehanabad and another in Bhabua. Now, Modi launched a scathing attack on Chief Minister Nitish Kumar and RJD Chief Lalu Prasad over the issue of corruption. He accused the two leaders of insulting the legacy of Jai Prakash Narayan, and the Prime Minister was referring to a sting video that surfaced showing senior Bihar Minister Avdesh Prasad Kushwaha accepting bribe. Now, Kushwaha, remember, resigned afterwards.
अगर 4 लाख रुपए की बोली जाती है, हिसाब किताब उस प्रकार से होता है और सरकार में रहते हुए होता है, तो भाइयों बहनों, जयप्रकाश जी को अगर सच्ची श्रद्धांजलि देनी है, इस पाप के साथ जिस राजनीतिक दलों का संबंध है, इस पाप के साथ जिस गठबंधन का संबंध है, पूरे बिहार में चुन चुन करके ऐसे लोगों को साफ कर दो मेरे भाइयों.
Meanwhile, Nitish Kumar addressed a rally in Aurangabad. He attacked the opposition NDA alliance, saying that they were busy bickering among themselves. He also attacked the Prime Minister for campaigning in Bihar, saying that he would not bother to come back for years if the NDA won.
मैंने चुनाव जीत करके गए तो 14 महीना तो बिहार याद आया नहीं. फिर जब चुनाव नजदीक आ गया तो बिहार टहलने लगे. या तो विदेश जाते हैं या बिहार आते हैं.
And Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister and Samajwadi Party leader Akhilesh Yadav addressed his first rally in Bihar as the poll battle among political parties intensified in the state. Now, this is the first time Yadav has addressed a rally in Bihar ahead of the elections.
डीएनए ठीक करने वाले डॉक्टर लोग हैं, उन्हें नोबेल प्राइज मिल गया है. तो समस्या तो बताइए, लेकिन इलाज क्या है? मैं ये आपको कहने आया हूँ, हम समाजवादी लोगों का और आपका पुराना रिश्ता है.
All right, let's go back to Mr. Verma. Mr. Verma, now Samajwadi Party Chief Mulayam Singh Yadav yesterday made a comment which is going to make the Grand Alliance very uncomfortable. Now, Mulayam said that the wave is in favor of the BJP. How do you look at this comment?
I don't think, of course, it sounds damaging for the Grand Alliance, but I don't think Mulayam Singh's words are going to influence what the voters across the state have decided in their mind. because Mulayam Singh, of course, is a big factor in Uttar Pradesh, and he has been fighting elections. His party has been fighting elections in Bihar since 1995. In all the elections since 1995, the Samajwadi Party has fought, and this time Mulayam Singh has just come once, and he has stated something against the alliance, and he has spoken in favor of the BJP. But I don't think his words will carry that much of weight in context of Bihar. It has never carried. It is because the constituency that Mulayam Singh commands in Uttar Pradesh, Lalu Prasad is the owner of that constituency in Bihar, and they will and the vote bank and the support base that Mulayam Singh has in Uttar Pradesh, Lalu controls that vote base in Bihar, and they will listen to Lalu Prasad more than to Mulayam Singh Yadav. Of course, it is a psychological advantage for the BJP. There is also, see, what Mulayam Singh has stated against the alliance, these Grand Alliance people or even their supporters are feeling that Mulayam has somehow, if not directly, indirectly is serving the BJP's purpose. And that is how the voters will take it. I don't think Mulayam Singh's statement, it may sound damaging on the paper or in the television discourses, you know, but I don't think it is going to influence or damage the prospect of the Grand Alliance, the manner or the way the BJP would have expected.
All right, so it is a psychological advantage really for the BJP. Now, coming to the BJP now BJP has yesterday said that Dr. Prem Kumar, veteran lawmaker from Gaya, will be the chief minister if NDA comes to power in the state. How do you look at the timing of such an announcement? Because this has not happened in the past, that even before the elections are over, BJP has announced its chief ministerial candidate.
See, it is BJP has not announced chief ministerial candidate, and it can be seen from 2-3 perspectives. First, the BJP, I don't think, or that it has as a strong a face as Nitish Kumar to pit against. So the BJP might not be trying to expose its chief ministerial candidate against a person who relatively controls a very good image of a performer across the state. Secondly, see, Bihar, caste is a very determining factor in Bihar. The BJP support base, they might have thought that if they announce someone as a candidate, it might antagonize the other castes which are supporting the BJP and which are hoping the BJP to have a chief minister from their own caste. And that's why the BJP might not have projected a particular chief ministerial candidate. But it is a known thing that BJP has not projected, whereas the Grand Alliance has projected Nitish Kumar as a chief ministerial candidate. So I think even if they had projected a chief ministerial candidate, they might have thought that it will work counterproductive to their study. That's why they have not fielded up how it impacts. Only results can tell. But I think the BJP didn't have as big a face as Nitish Kumar to put. That's why they kept silent on that announcement of the candidate.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Verma, for joining us this morning. So only the results will tell what will happen. But one thing is for sure, that these results will have a major impact in the national politics as well. All right. With this, we'll take a very short break. In Verdict 2015, we'll be back with more election news. Stay with us.
Tales that inspire, stories of social change. A salute to diversity, promoting public discourse. Events that motivate, inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries every Friday at 10:30 p.m, Saturday 12:30 p.m and Sunday at 1 p.m.
Welcome back. Now, life in the Maoist-affected Red Corridor is not easy. It comprises a huge part of the Sher Ghati subdivision of Gaya district, a place of historical importance that today is desperately in need of development. Now, Sher Ghati's economy is dominated by agricultural trade. And in these elections, voters have a long wish list for political representatives. When it comes to farming, Vedram is an adept. It's a life skill that has been handed down the generations in his family. He can identify any variety of rice which he cultivates on his 10 acres. But making two ends meet is still an uphill task. Frequent power outages add to his production costs.
खेती में साधन नहीं है, पानी नहीं है, पेट में खाना नहीं है, पूंजी नहीं है, हम लोग भूख मरते हैं तो किस तरह से हम लोग खेती करें?
Support prices have no doubt increased, but absence of suitable state intervention for procurement forces farmers like Vedram to sell their produce at much lower prices.
नहीं बिक पाता, अब तक तो नहीं बिका, जब तक मेरे जीवन में अब तक ऐसा नहीं हुआ। रही बात तो समर्थन मूल्य का, वो जो अगर उड़ भी गया थोड़ा बहुत तो वो मिल नहीं पाता, इससे किसान बदहाली के शिकार हैं यहाँ पे।
Like most towns in Bihar, Sher Ghati is dominated by agriculture-based industries. Its economy revolves around the local crop market. National Highway 2, also known as the Grand Trunk Road, passes through it, touching Kolkata on one side and Pakistan's Peshawar city on the other. But transport conditions still remain deplorable. And political parties have only broken promises to show after all these years.
हमारी पार्टी और महागठबंधन का जो मुद्दा है कि बिहार को एक विकसित राज्य हमारे मुख्यमंत्री आदरणीय नीतीश कुमार जी देखना चाहते हैं। बिहार इतना विकास करे कि देश के जो अग्रणी राज्य हैं उसके श्रेणी में आए।
यदि हमारी सरकार बनी, मैं विधायक बना, तो हम इस जो यहाँ की पब्लिक का जो मेन डिमांड है, शेर घाटी को जिला बनाओ, हम उसको पूरा करेंगे।
Legend has it that Sher Shah Suri hunted a lion at this very place. In its heydays during British rule, Sher Ghati commanded much administrative importance as the commissioner's headquarters. Today, the place is notorious for illegal mining thanks to the apathy of successive governments.
Development of road and transport facilities can play a very crucial role in changing the socio-economic conditions of the people of Sher Ghati. With successive governments failing to acknowledge this problem, Sher Ghati has high hopes from elections 2015. Reporting from Sher Ghati with camera person Sudhanshu, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
Now, two women candidates of the NDA and the Grand Alliance will be locked in a close fight in Barachatti. Now, this reserved constituency is part of the Gaya Lok Sabha parliamentary seat. Here are all the details.
Tuesdays are the days when Barachatti comes alive. That's when people from all over throng its Mangal Bazaar, the cattle market, where birds, poultry, buffaloes and elephants are traded. But other than that, the town suffers from a general lack of basic amenities.
हमारा पूरा क्षेत्र जितना है, हम लोग का पहाड़ी क्षेत्र है मैडम, पीने के लिए पानी नहीं। 250-300 फीट पानी हमारे यहाँ बोरिंग होता है, लेकिन पानी नहीं निकलता। हमारे यहाँ सबसे दिक्कत पानी और रोड नहीं।
Listening to complaints, the RJD's Samata Devi is conscious of an added responsibility. A lot of hope rides on her since, in order to accommodate her, the JDU denied the ticket to its sitting MLA Jyoti Devi. In the 2010 elections, Samata Devi lost to Jyoti Devi by 23,746 votes.
जीत जाने के बाद सबसे पहले मेरे के यहाँ सुविधा बिजली का नहीं है, बहुत ऐसे गांव में नहीं गई है और वहाँ सब बिजली लाने का काम करेंगे। बहुत ऐसे जगह है रोड नहीं है, रोड बना के बिजली की व्यवस्था, जब बिजली की व्यवस्था होगा तो किसानों के ऑटोमेटिक विकास होगी। दूसरी बात रोड नहीं है, रोड बनवाने का काम करेंगे।
For the NDA, Sudha Devi, work starts as early as 5 a.m. gathering party workers for the day's campaigning. Sudha is a daughter-in-law of Hari Manjhi, the BJP MP from Gaya constituency. But in order to accommodate an alliance partner, Sudha is herself seeking votes on the LJP's ticket.
बाराचट्टी में कोई विकास नजर ही नहीं आया जो करना चाहिए था विधायक को, बिल्कुल नजर नहीं आता। मैं चाहती हूँ अगर मैं बन जाती हूँ तो वहाँ सबसे पहले तो रोड सही करूंगी, बिजली का साधन करूंगी और सिंचाई का सीजन करूंगी।
Coming to terms with such conditions, both candidates had their tasks cut out. On their part, the voters had their sights set on how they will hold the candidates accountable. Barachatti will reveal its decision when it votes on 16th October.
Barachatti is known for its thriving cattle market. But residents here complain about lack of basic infrastructure and, most importantly, lack of veterinary doctors. Candidates now are banking on caste calculus and trying to compete for each other's vote bank. In Barachatti, with camera person Sudhanshu, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
Well, that's all in this edition of Verdict 2015. But do watch our afternoon election bulletin at 1 p.m. But that's all from the election team at the moment. Thanks for tuning in.